Hello class, this is your teacher, Mr. McDougall. This is a demo tutorial on U102, setting up my Windows computer in case you missed it. So this is a video walkthrough in case you were absent on all the ways to set up your computer and complete this classwork slideshow as you see right here. As usual, your setting is going to look different. Mine's the teacher classroom setup, yours is the student one. So over here on this side you will see options to add files, create files, and it's probably where you will see links to Google Drive and slides and things like that. Mine are down here at the bottom, but yours might be laid out differently depending on how your screen looks. If your screen is a little bit smaller, you might see it a little bit in a different spot as well. So what we're working on right now is these slides. So the first thing on slide number 1, you were given a copy of this. Put your full name and your period number. And what we're going to do is take screenshots of these setups that I walked you through. So most of it should be set up the way I walked you through it. If not, I'll walk you through each one for right now. This first one is uBlock Origin. And if you go back, that's this link right here. You have a link to uBlock Origin. And you should see a big button. If you haven't, it'll say Add to Chrome. Click Add to Chrome. If it says Remove to Chrome, it means it's already there. So you're good. So we're going to take a screenshot of this. And the way we're going to take a screenshot is to use the snipping tool. And that can be found in the apps. So if we come back here to this little window icon, we'll open up our menu. And if we go to all apps, everything's in alphabetical order. So you can see A at the top. So snipping tool starts with an S. It's going to be down here at the bottom. We're going to use this one right here, the snipping tool. So there's different ways you can take a snip or a screenshot. You're going to click New. And by default, it might be on this one, which is to drag it. So you can drag a selected area just like that if I want to take a screenshot. So that's one way to take a screenshot. The other way to do it, the way I recommend, is this middle one right here, which takes a screenshot of the entire window. So if I click anywhere in here, you can see it's outlined right here. It's going to take a screenshot of my entire browser window. So if I just click, it takes a perfect screenshot of that. So that's the way I recommend, but you can do it the other way with dragging and dropping to select your area. Alright, so that's our first screenshot, and these will all be saved in the screenshots folder. So if you go to your file explorer where your folders are, if I click on that one and I go to pictures and screenshots, I can see all my screenshots. Here's the one I took right here. If I double click on it, it will open. The first time you click on a photo, it might ask you how to open it. Choose Photos. Don't choose Photoshop or Illustrator. Make sure it always opens in Photos. That is the fastest way. So here's my screenshot. Alright, so that's the first screenshot I'm going to attach right here. To add the photo, you just go to Insert Image, Upload from Computer, and then we find it, which is right here in the screenshots. Here it is right here. There's my screenshot. So let's just adjust it to fit the general area. Doesn't have to fit it exactly, depending on the size of your screenshot, but just put it somewhere in that zone, just like that. Okay? So the next one is that Google Chrome is set as your default browser. This is something I walked you through to get set up on Chrome and get in Classroom in the first place, but let's just double check. To that, you got to go to your settings for these next two. So that is, again, click on this Windows icon, go to the settings. It looks like a gear. If you don't see it, go to all apps and check for settings right here. So for this one, to check for that, we need to go to, let's make this menu a little bit bigger, shall we? There you go. In case yours looks like mine, you can't see everything. You can always just drag the end of any of these windows. So I drag it like this, makes the menu bigger, and I could see more options. So you want to go to Apps and Default Apps, and we're going to go to Google Chrome right there. And we want to make sure this is set as default. You see that check right there. So it says everything will open. So whenever I open a link, everything will open automatically in Google Chrome and not Microsoft Edge. We do not want Microsoft Edge, even though it begs us to keep it as the default browser. We are not going to use it. So again, we're going to take a screenshot of this guy. So we're going to go back to the snipping tool again. And I'm going to show you how to pin in just a second so you don't have to keep hunting this down every time. Snipping tool, new shot. Same thing you'll see again. If I click the window, if I'm on window option right here, anything I click on will take a perfect screenshot of that. So click right there. Boom. Here's a perfect screenshot. I want to see this, that it's been set as your default browser. The next one is the sound. Is that your speakers? That should be automatic. If I go back to the settings and I go to System and Sound, that's where we're going to go. Yours should be on the speakers Realtrek audio. It should be on that by default. It should be the one that you see. So when you see that, that's good. Take a screenshot of this window. The next one is that Google Drive is connected to your computer. This one's extremely important because every file that we save is going to be saved to our Google Drive, so you can access it from anywhere. If we don't do this, every file that you download or save will only be on the computer itself and not connected to your Google Cloud. So we're going to do this right now to make sure it gets connected. So go back to this window and go to All Apps. And we're going to go to Google Drive, which we'll see right here. So click on Google Drive. Make sure you're signed into Chrome, which you should be if you're watching this tutorial. And we're going to click Get Started. And we're just going to click Sign In. It's going to start connecting automatically. Choose your school account. Yes, just always agree to everything. It's okay. It'll say success. It'll take a second while Drive will open back up again. It'll probably close and open back up, which is fine. So just wait 1 second. There we go. Hit Next. Next. And then for this page, make sure you check all 3 of these boxes right here. So we're going to make sure it syncs to the desktop. You just probably have to hit continue or OK or allow or something. Anytime it asks you for that, just keep clicking OK. Choose all 3 of them. Just keep clicking next until you see this option right here. This is going to pop up. It may pop up here or in the top, but what it's doing now is it's syncing with your Google Drive. And depending on how many items you have, this might take a while, but that's okay. Mine has a lot since I'm a teacher. Yours might be done very shortly, so that's okay. All right, we can close this tab. So this screenshot is that Google Drive is connected to the computer. So now it's available as a file location. So if I open up my File Explorer, I will see Google Drive right here, which wasn't here a moment ago until I synced it. So I want you to take a screenshot of this screen right here showing me this. The next one is that we're going to create a folder inside of our drive to save all of our stuff. Throughout the entire semester, you're going to be saving everything in this folder. So if I go back to here and I click on my Google Drive, you'll see my drive right here, and it's going to have everything that I have in my Google Drive. So you'll see all of your stuff in your Google Drive right there. To make a new folder, you just come up here to New and then Folder. And it creates a new folder like that, and then you can rename it Intro to Graphics. In case you misnamed it and you want to rename it, it's super easy. Double clicking on it will open the folder. So you just go back right here if that's the case. To rename it, you can just click on it once and then wait a second and then click on the text a second time, and then it will allow you to rename it in case you messed up. Okay, so perfect. So I want you to take a screenshot of this showing that your folder is here. That's your next one for this page. The next one is that we practiced downloading our files. So that's what we're going to do next. And that's, again, back on the assignment. If you look on the assignment, you'll see this one that says compressed archive, and it looks like a little Google Drive, and it says U102 exercise files. Yours are probably up here in the top right again. You'll see a thing with your name. And what Google does is it will make the file name actually your full name and then this name right here. So yours is going to say your full name, U102 exercise files. So this is how we're going to download files. And I'll walk you through this for the first few projects, and then I'm going to skip the whole downloading process once you get the hang of it. So click on this to open it. And you can't do anything from here, so we're going to open it in a new page to download it. I'm going to click More Actions and Open a New Window. And then we are going to download it. All right, my screen needs to be fixed. What you will see, and I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so when you click on that link, it will open like this. And as I mentioned, you're going to click the 3 dots and open a new window. And what you'll see is a page that looks like this, a very similar looking page. However, you'll see your little Google Drive profile and a few extra buttons. So you're going to click this download button right here. You will always see this pretty much every single time I give you files. Don't worry, it's not saying that your computer has a virus. That's not what this says. It's just saying that the files are too big to be scanned, because I'm going to always be sending you large photo files or large video files. It's okay, just click download anyway. And once you do that, you'll see it pop up over here, a little notification, and now it's in our downloads folder. So if I minimize Chrome for a second, these tabs up here will either close, change the screen size, or this one will minimize it. So now it's down at the bottom. There we go. Close all these for right now. All right, so to find my files, we're going to go to the File Explorer. And if I click Downloads, here it is right here. Here is my zip folder. Delete this one for a second. So all you're going to see is this folder right here, which is your downloaded folder. And again, this is a zipped file. You can see because there's a big zipper on it. If I try to double click on it to get to these files right here, it actually won't work. I have to unzip the file. So you never want to just get the files from here. Always, always, always you have to unzip first. If you try to just open these files in Adobe Photoshop or any other program, it won't work until we've extracted them from this folder. And it's super easy to do. You're just going to right click on it. Again, that's pushing with your middle finger on your mouse, right click, and you're going to choose Extract All. Make sure this box is not checked right here. So turn that off to show the files, and then just click Extract. And you'll see what's going to pop up right here is a folder with the exact same name, but it doesn't have the zipper on it. This is the actual file folder that we want with the images. So you can see it's displaying the images this time. So this is the one what we want. This is how you're going to use the exercise files if you're editing them in Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever it is that we're using. So now the zipped one we can actually delete. If you right click on it, move it to trash, or you can click on it and there's also a trash can up here, or you can just hit the delete key on your keyboard. That will delete it into the trash can. So now we need to move this into our Google Drive. So we need to open a second file folder window that looks like this one. So right now there's just one. But if I click on this again, it just minimizes the one I already have. I want to open two of them. In order to do that, you're going to right click again with your middle finger down here. So you're going to right click on this tab. Again, right clicking will help you open up menus in case you get stuck on something. So that's pushing with your middle finger on this tab. And if you go to File Explorer, it will open up a second one. And you can always move these around, drag them and move them around just like that. You can change the size by dragging the corners. Just be careful you don't accidentally close it. There we go. Now we have two. So put them next to each other. You can put them side by side or on top of each other. It doesn't matter as long as you could see both windows open. So now here from this Downloads folder, we're going to move it into that Intro to Graphics folder that we created. So that is in the Google Drive folder. These are all your folder or file locations. So think about the same thing if you have a phone or tablet or anywhere that you store things. These are the possible locations. You save it in your, for example, on your phone if you have something saved into your Downloads folder or your Messages folder or your Instagram folder. Same thing here. These are all the possible file locations that things can be saved. The documents, the downloads, the pictures, whatever. So here's Google Drive, here's my drive, and it's going to be in this Intro to Graphics folder that we made a few minutes ago. In order to move these over, you just simply have to click and hold on your mouse. So I click, hold, and drag. You can see I have this little square because I'm dragging something. Click, hold your mouse, and just drag it and drop it right over here. What it will do is it will copy the folder. So it's still here, but it made a copy into this area. Make sure when you're clicking and dragging, you do it exactly the way I just did, where you're not holding any keys on the keyboard. Some people accidentally hold the shift key or hold a key on the keyboard, and sometimes what that can do, if you're dragging and holding something, it might have some weird effects. It might delete this, it might make a weird copy of it, so just make sure you're dragging it with just the mouse and not clicking anything else. So now this is saved in our Google Drive, so now you can access this from any computer that your Google Drive is connected to. And here in the downloads, we don't need this one anymore either, so we're going to delete it so our downloads don't get all clogged up. So that's what the next slide is taking a picture of your Intro to Graphics folder, and that this folder is inside of it, the downloads that we practice. See right here, your practice files are inside your Google Drive. The next one is Adobe. So I walked you through getting set up in Adobe. But if you did not do that, or if you're not able to log in, make sure you go back to your classroom apps and you'll see it right here, Adobe Creative Cloud. Make sure you're signed in and it should show you the cloud homepage. Make sure you do this first and then we can open it up on our computer. So this is Adobe on Chrome browser, so we can just see that we're logged in if we're going to use Adobe online. But what we also want to do is make sure we're signed into the computer. So I'm going to minimize this, and you're going to look for this one right here, this little rainbow cloud icon. If I double click on that, it's going to pop up. If you haven't signed in, you just sign in again by clicking continue with Google, and then it will open Google, sign you in, and take you back to this page showing you that you have all of these Adobe apps available. And these are all on the computer, not through the internet. So this next slide is that you're taking a screenshot of this homepage. So if I go here, the Adobe Creative Cloud homepage, which is just this screen right here. If I open this, this is the homepage, so I can make sure you got logged on. The next one is Adobe Express. If I go back to my Adobe login right here, and I go to Home, you should see it either right here, see how it says Adobe Express Get Started, or if you click Home, you'll see the button right here as well. Either way, look for Adobe Express, click Get Started. And this is the Adobe Express homepage, which we will use for our first couple getting started projects. For right now, I just want you to bookmark this for later. So to bookmark, you click on this little star icon over here as Adobe Express. I recommend saving it to your bookmarks bar. Click Done. That is the bar right underneath right here. So you can see everything right here has been bookmarked. So you should see it pop up. If you don't see it pop up, you either didn't choose bookmarks bar, so it might be over here in your other bookmarks, or your bookmarks bar is too full and you'll see some little arrows right here because you have too many bookmarks and it can't fit. But you can always change them or delete them or move them around. So for this slide, I want you to just take a screenshot of this homepage. That's what this one is right here. The next ones are all the Adobe programs. We have Lightroom Classic, Photoshop, Bridge, Illustrator, and Premiere Pro. And those are all the Adobe apps on your computer. So same thing, you're just going to open the apps for the first time and take a screenshot of the home page or the welcoming page, and that's what you're going to put here. Before we do that, let's set up our taskbar to make it a little bit more efficient so we can easily open all of the apps. So by default, you should see down here, yours will be a little different. I have a couple different programs that I need to use. You should see your File Explorer. You'll probably see Microsoft Edge, the Microsoft Store, and your Chrome, and then most likely the Creative Cloud if you just open that like I did. We do not need Microsoft Edge or the Store. We're going to get rid of those. So we don't want those pinned down here because we're never ever going to use them. So to get rid of them, you're going to right click again with your middle finger, right click on it, and select Unpin from Taskbar. And you'll see it goes away. This is your taskbar down here, which makes it just more efficient and easier to click on apps when you need them. Same thing with the Store, right click, Unpin. We don't need that one. We're going to keep the rest of these though. Right now these are here because they're open. If I close this one, it goes away. It doesn't stay there. What I want to do is I want to pin that one so it does stay. So the Adobe Express, I'm going to right click on that one. And let's do, oh wait, we can't do it from here. That's okay. We're going to do it from this side. Come down here, all apps, and I'm going to look for Adobe Creative Cloud. That's this right here. This is the exact same one. If I right click on it from here, more, pin to taskbar. Now it's there and it's going to stay there. Same thing with Google Chrome. Google Chrome, this one, pin to taskbar. Now it will stay. So if I close it, it's going to stay there. Move these guys out of the way. So we're going to do the same thing with a few other apps for quick access. So all of the ones I just mentioned for the screenshots, we're going to add to the taskbar. So right here is Adobe Bridge, this one too. Right click, more, pin to taskbar. Illustrator, right click, more, pin to taskbar. You should see all of these Adobe ones with the current year on it. And then Lightroom Classic, right click, pin to taskbar. If you don't see any of these, please let me know. I'll help you find them, or I'll need to make sure your computers get updated. If you're not seeing these specific ones, please ask me for help. And then Photoshop, right click, pin to taskbar. And Premiere Pro, right click, pin to taskbar. And we're going to do two more just so we have easy access to them. And that's the ones that we're going to continue using. The other one is Google Drive, which we set up. Right click. Let's pin that one to the taskbar. And then the last one is the one that we're using right now for our screenshots, which is the snipping tool. Let's take snipping tool, right click, pin to taskbar. Now it's right here and easy to use. So when I start taking my screenshots, I don't have to go in here, look for all apps, hunt it down every single time. It's right here ready to use. So if I just click on it, boom, the tool opens up ready to go. I can take my snip. Like if I need this one, boom, there's my screenshot. So for all of these, and you can also rearrange the order of these too if you want to drag them and drop them around. If you're like, I want all the Google stuff next to each other, or I like the color order of these, it does not matter. You can feel free to move these around however you like. And down here, you only need to single click to open. Up here on these icons, you have to double click with your mouse and that will open it. But down here, you just need to single click. So if I just click one time, the program will open. And here is Adobe Bridge. And same thing. The first thing that opens is the home page. Just take a screenshot of that. That's what I want to see. Close that for now. So that's all of these Adobe apps. The last thing is your taskbar set up just the way I showed you. So that's why I did that just now. Take a screenshot of your taskbar, the thing down here, with the apps I just showed you to pin. The snipping tool, the File Explorer, Chrome, Drive, Creative Cloud, Lightroom Classic, Photoshop, Bridge, Illustrator, and Premiere Pro. And again, it's super easy to take a screenshot of that if you just click New, make sure it's set to the window one, and you can just come click right here, and look at that. Click on that, boom, it took a screenshot of my taskbar, and you can add that to your slideshow. So that is this assignment. Good job. Again, the whole point of this is to make sure that everything is set up to optimize our flow for the entire class. So all the demos and everything after this will be referencing the fact that your computer setup should be like this, and you should be signed into everything correctly. Okay? Good job, and remember, ask me if you need any help.